Okay, that was great. I'm doing good, Michael. Thanks for asking. How is your day going on?
So I muted my answers in some cases so that I don't actually reveal private information.
Okay, got it. Daniel, are you in project right now?
Also,
Are you in
muted.
project right now? Are you working anywhere?
I don't share on my
Okay.
resume who I work for right now. It's in today's world, you can become a target. Okay. So not revealing it to you as the viewers is one thing, but in the interview, I needed to
Got
hit
it,
it
Daniel.
on the spot.
Daniel, just allow us like couple of more minutes. One of our team member is joining this call.
The tense moments of not hearing an answer, controlling the speed where nothing happens.
Pratik, can you please
How are
take
you,
it
Daniel?
forward?
Oh, pretty good. How
Yeah,
about you guys?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm nice, thank you.
Yeah.
This is my
Uh,
this is the
so,
beginning of the interview,
okay. So, can we
actually.
start, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So, actually, this position is for BMC Discovery.
Yep.
We are looking for a developer who has architect experience as well as the operation support. So, can you tell me about your overall experience?
So my history with BMC, I don't know if you see this in my resume. It started sometime around 1999, where I was working for BMC Tivoli, and we started a private company called IT Masters, which got bought out by BMC Software. In 2003, we started to work on the CMDB, and hello, there was a Tideway Discovery agentless. Hey man. Yeah, I just got a call from a buddy. I had to take the call, so interruption in the topic over here. So back to this interview. I was just doing this interview here, and I'm recording it. It was added as to detect services that are being done within the company. Well, and not BMC, but our customers, right? I was at BMC for, I think it was about 18 years, and during that time, I was working as one of the lead project people on the TrueSight piece, which is basically network discovery and so on. And then in
Mm-hmm.
2008, I became the team lead of CMDB Group. So I was there as that team lead for 10 years. During that time, I was leading a group of engineers to make sure that the customer actually, gets their things done. So I had worked on site sometimes with customers. BMC would send me to like Kansas City, for example, to work with H&R Block, or they would send me to work. Forget their name actually, this company, but anyway, they would just send me on site to work with different customers to solve their issues, right? So in 2018, I decided, it would be good to actually go privately to work for somebody directly as one of the customers. And at the time, there was Charles Schwab. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, currently, you are working on Discovery or you are working?
So here they're probing to see what I'm doing in my current position. And one thing that I have to make sure that I now use the opposite of silence control. It's filler control, which is known by the Democrats as the filibusters, right? In a Congress and discussions that people in politics basically do. They fill stuff up. That filibuster basically here says, I know what I'm doing. This is my history. I was in that role. And even if I wasn't my official title, I believe that is what I was doing, right? So my role in that situation was exactly that. It's clear that we all collaborate with each other, so there's a collaboration component to it. So claiming that you were a leader of a collective, where in a collective people are making equal decisions, just like the Borg. Okay, the Borg are a collective and they make decisions equally, which is potentially connectable to the Matrix movie. Like the Borg. And you never know who you talk to. Some people out there like science fiction, so just embellishing your title and a role in an interview, I don't think is that big of a deal. If you believe that that is what you are doing and you're being hired for that role, where they want you to be doing exactly that, the least that you can provide at that very time is to have some or provide some evidence that you know what you're doing. That is the most important thing in an interview. I'm going to resume this.
On some other tool.
I'm working for right now. I think it should be in my resume. I am the administrator of Remedy for Guy, which that's my current role. Yeah.
Okay. So in Discovery, what kind of work you did? So have you did any integrations?
So Discovery at Charles Schwab, basically, they were looking at organizing their databases and their servers. So basically, the relationship between the owners, who were the managers, and architects and so on, we would create patterns that discovered or connected to a database or ran a SQL query on it and collected things like version numbers and serial numbers. So we had created service models where the database would then be linked over to the people. So a people relationship between the database and who the owners are was created. And mainly at Charles Schwab, it was because they had so much software there that wasn't even used by anybody. So we're creating a script to log in into the home user directory and pick up when that person had logged in the last time, right? So we would know who's actually using the system, who's logging on, and that was all in a pattern of this. That was done through Azure. We also did this through Linux. Playing this game of organizational portfolio meeting the platform. Who has the bigger hand? Who can provide more money? If you're providing money, your hand in the portfolio is very strong. If you are running the platform on a daily basis, you are facing all the shit in the world that's coming your way, known as IT. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. But I mean, the difference is really you have a path between Linux and between Windows where a user logs in. So if that user logs in, it's going to leave a timestamp and what their last login was. So the patterns were doing that. They were just reading the last login of that person, and they were also doing, like I said, the database running a SQL query and then putting that into the CMDB. So it would sync it up over to the CMDB, and in the CMDB we would build up models. But this is, I think that was version 2103, where the service modeling and the blueprint wasn't available in Discovery. So those are some things that were added by BMC last couple of years. So I guess my question for you would be, if I may, is what version is Mastercard using?
Okay, so currently we are using 23.0.
23.0? Okay. So that's
Yes.
2 years old. Okay.
Yeah. So it will be comfortable for you, not an issue.
Yeah.
And have you have a knowledge on SAM, that software asset management?
Software asset management. So this will be done through Discovery by logging on and doing the access log and maybe the task manager. So you're mostly working with Linux systems, is that correct?
Yeah, we are working with Linux as well as Windows. We are discovering the virtual machines. Then we have cloud discovery as well.
So here, this wasn't really like a strategic move to switch topic to see which operating system they're working on. To me, it was very important to know whether I'm going to be talking Task Manager in Windows or a daemon that's running in Linux, which is basically the threat management, from the central computer. I wanted to know where this is going. Basically, the tanks are coming, right? And things are getting chopped off, your possibilities. It was controlling all the input output, right? So when you're looking at the thread of a processor, right, it's like a live tree of 65,360 roughly channels potentially ready to be open. And any of these channels, like Java, uses anywhere from 30 to 40,000 ranges, probably because they have it reserved, right? So if you use lots of Java, the threading and the communication between TCP/IP sockets and the cache exchanging data constantly on a local machine, okay, is capable of running 65,000 plus different applications. And the distribution of memory on all of these depends on how much memory the program needs.
Also, we are working on some external event. So, do you have experience in writing external events?
External events meaning federated data going out to destinations. Is it?
Right.
Yeah, so you have a credential manager. In the credential manager, you configure it where to connect to, right? So that, I'm assuming, is what you're referring to. Discovery still has to connect somewhere, right? So going externally, I don't know what exactly that means, but you have to have an access via network route to connect to something, unless it's collected somewhere in some repository, right? So yeah, I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but I mean, I looked at what MasterCard is doing, and your services are financial. You have a global exposure, a global network, and you're probably dealing with possibly ATM machines and things like that. So is that what you mean by external, going to those ATM machines?
Like external managements, like we fetch the data through discovery and we process that data using some external commands.
Okay.
So, like some site population or geolocation population. So, we write some job by interval, so it will get data from that particular locations,
Okay. And your
and it
data,
populate along with the asset. It do the association with the already discovered asset.
okay. Your data center that stores this data, is it in the United States or is it somewhere else?
It's on different location actually.
Okay,
Some
so
are in United States, some are in UK's as well.
okay.
So
Because
yeah,
there's sometimes legal ramifications if you connect into other countries, especially
right.
with the new administration right now. We're not really sure what's going to happen, but we
Mhm.
know that European standard, the European Union is making a little bit more difficult to get people's data and to store that data in a location. So,
Mhm. And yeah, also
I just realized that Brexit is probably just for that very reason, so that the regulations of the European Union is basically not included in the lawmaking or for law reinforcement within British borders, whatever they are. This is 2025, so what happens then is we have different decisions made here and different decisions made over here. And in the middle of it is us. Which side should I effing listen to? Okay. The left side or the right side, or should I go forward in time? Serving what best serves thyself. This is why people invent fancy words. So you don't have to actually say the blunt part of it, make it sound a little bit fancier. But in this interview, that is where my mind was.
are you able to manage that certificates,
Am I
server
able to manage
certificates?
the certificates? Now, this is I wonder who am I speaking with at this point, okay? Are you able to manage the certificates, right? So maybe he's trying to say it in a way where I correct him because sometimes it's actually easier to sound stupid and then people step up and correct you just to show you that they're smarter than you, whatever that means at the time. Things do change. There's peaks and valleys and there's trends. The trends go up, they go down. And where you end up in that situation or in that particular conversation, I'm hearing a guy asking me something that he either is intentionally misspelling and wants me to correct, or he really doesn't know. It's a 50-50 chance. Okay. If the guy doesn't really know and he is interviewing you, right? What do you do in that moment? You just say, well, if that service becomes necessary, if my skill set, which is a portfolio with a skill set that says, yes, I can run certificates using Java keyword commands, okay? And in that moment, if I had said all of that stuff, I would have probably like maybe offended the guy or something, right? So I don't want to do that, although their job is to do screening. So when you're screening stuff, as the person that's screening is done by, you have to do your job in a way that discovers personality traits of the person that you're dealing with. Now, this is on Saturday, one day after the interview. I don't know if I'm going to get the job or not. Well, I'm going to document it anyway, upload it, and then maybe sell it as a business feature just to show people where you can fail or succeed if you just have either the background and the skill set, or you can memorize something very quickly overnight, which some people that do that, they get exposed and it hurts. I can get exposed because I've been doing this for 25 years. I don't know anybody actually, other than the colleagues on my level, that have this same amount of knowledge. That's the same
Yeah.
certificates. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
that's all Java based, right? It's
Okay. And what about?
So actually, in that case, I would just expect somebody to say, okay, well, can you demonstrate us on a command line? Unable to look at Java runtime. So obviously, I'm not running any Java on my computer here. This is my Macintosh. I'm not going to run any Java on it. So Java is not going to be here. Which Java? Should have been recording all this. Oh man, it's going to have to take some editing.
TKU upgrade and writing custom pattern?
Yeah, I mean that's part of working with discovery, right? You have to. Here's what we're talking about. So you can see I have my hands actually in front of me, so you can see I'm not just typing it up. You pick up additional fields, export that to the
Right.
CMDB, create new relationships, things like that. Yeah, we have. Yeah,
So you are comfortable, not an issue.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there was a person, Lisa Keeler. Do I know what I'm? Well, out of Austin over let's see. I have this website called Black Hole Surfer. You may have, there are not many people visited it once or twice before. The pattern. This is the Python
Correct.
function that creates a black hole illustration.
Okay. And
This
you
is
are
a-
currently working on Remedy.
But at Geico, there isn't that much opportunity. This is actually why I'm interested in going into the discovery, back to discovery, because it's a more fun field rather than just doing it with the CMDB, you know. So I get to see what they're building out. So there's an integration with Workday. Again, I don't know how HR works at your place, but there's an integration with Workday where you can onboard and offboard people using discovery.
Do you have any question for me?
Yeah. So I'm always interested in the team, right? There is a reason why a position becomes available. So that opportunity usually is because somebody has retired, they may not have been doing a good job, so they were let go. So you come in and you have to clean up somebody else's mess. So I would like to know if you can share that with me. What is the reason why this position became available? Is it something because of MasterCard is expanding, or is it because somebody wasn't doing a good job and they had to be let go? If you can share that.
Okay, we actually have a big team. We three people working from India. There are two people working from UK,
Okay.
and three more people working from US location.
Okay.
So we are supporting 24/7. So from our team, one of the member is moving in another project.
Okay.
So there is one position get vacant, and it's completely operation support. We are onboarding new data centers in Discovery,
Okay.
and if required, there are some integrations with the other application.
Okay.
So it's already stable product, but yeah, new requirement is coming, and we are working on it.
Okay.
So that's why. So we just want to fulfill our one team
So,
member.
how do you maintain your agile project? Do you use like Atlassian? Do you use ADO? Do you submit changes and improvements?
Sorry.
Your agile project, how do you manage your stories? Do you have epics? Do you use ADO?
Yeah. So we have a Jira. So we are creating story. We are
Playbook.
assigning to yeah.
Okay.
So we are assigning to stories within ourselves. If it is development story, also we are using Remedy Helix. We are working on work orders. So whatever the customer facing issue, they raise a work order, and we are working on that work order as well.
Okay. Um,
So yes.
so is there like a retrospective? Do you have a manager? Do you have a scrum master that helps you do all that stuff, or is it just self-containment?
Uh, okay. We weekly do one story ALM call, story call. So where we discuss our stories, where we'll provide the update on the stories, what is happening, what we are doing, and what's the next plan. And at the month end, we are try to close as much as stories possibly. And if something is blocking, then we are carry forward that story in next month.
Okay.
So yeah, so we don't have any Scrum Master or anything, but it's in team. We are having a call and we are discussing together.
Okay. And that would be you said 5 people, I think. Is 5 to 6 people together on the team?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And how much information sharing do you have? Do you guys work as a team, or is it like a quarterback mentality where it's me only and then nobody else needs to know? Is
No, no,
that
no. We work as a team, and
actually I
we
like the
most
way
of
that he
we
laughed. He
created the
understood what he
conference
was saying.
page like
That's
for a KB or whatever the process we have in
I like
Mastercard.
that. Somebody.
So if you have any issues, we will provide the conference page link. You go through it and you can understand the environment.
Okay.
So yeah, hopefully they will arrange KT sessions and everything for you. So it's not like you are only working on that. If you need any help, yeah, there are a lot of other people. We have dedicated developer as well.
Okay.
So who will doing only development jobs and rest of the team doing operation support and integration.
Okay.
So yes, it's a good team. No one have any egos or anything. If I don't know something, so yeah, they are teaching me. Okay, this is the way you have to do it. Yeah, so it's a nice team.
Okay. That's. I mean, it's important. If you want to maintain your sanity over the years, working on a good team
Right.
that communicates well. It is very important.
Yes.
Thank you for watching.